Hello everyone and welcome to our quarterfinal battle against the Montreal Milotics, coached by Matt O'Shea. Go check out his channel if you haven't already. We've played him a bunch of times between the IBL and the ICBA, so hopefully you guys know who he is. He's a really good battler. He bought me last time we faced in the ICBA pretty handily. I don't think I played my best game that day, but to be fair, he did play a very good game, and then we got really lucky by not getting paralyzed in the IBL and got a Mega Altaria sweep, but I don't see that happening again this time. I don't have Mega Altaria. So, anyway, his team is Conkeldurr, Dhelmise, Darkrai, Ditto, Gastrodon, Kyurem, Mega Mawile, Mew, Musharna, Shuckle, and Scolipede, with Darkrai and Scolipede being his two possible Z users. And the first thing to note about his team is the diversity of speed tiers between 100 or 95 to 125, and then nothing from there down to 50. And then Mega Mawile is the next fast Pokemon on his team. Then you've got 48, 45, 39, 29, and 5. So really got to watch out for speed, but it was an interesting decision to decide myself to go against the speed option. So some of my Pokemon are fast, some of them are not. I got a lot of chance to put things into bulk, put more offensive natures, and hopefully be able to do a little bit more damage. So what we're running this week is going to be Chandelure. Spirited Away is going to come this time against Matt. It did not come last time. It is going to be rocking Ghost DMZ. I had a long and internal debate between Fire EMZ and Ghost DMZ. Fire Blast, Energy Ball, Shadow Ball, and Substitute. Substitute blocking Ditto, Ghost DMZ, Shadow Ball killing, whereas a Shadow Ball coming back to me from the Ditto, if I'm at full, might kill, it might not, there's a roll, so hopefully if I'm at full HP, that is what we're going to be able to work with. And I'm Infiltrator, not Flash Fire, so that if he switches on Fire Blast, he does get hit by it. And Substitute allows me the Ditto to stay a Ditto, which is actually arguably worse for me, but it is what it is. And Substitute gives me an answer to a Sucker Punch Mega Mawile, things like that. So hopefully we are able to wear down his team and get this thing in where it needs to go. It is modest nature, so tons of special attack. You can see even at level 50, 260 special attack is quite a bit. Fire Blast, Energy Ball, Shadow Ball should almost OHKO or 2KO everything, and Ghost DMZ Shadow Ball allows me to bop pretty much everything not named Darkrai. That is pretty much the only thing that's really going to take a hit, and Kyurem can survive if there's not Stealth Rocks up. But I can take an Earth Power from a Kyurem guaranteed, unless he's running an offensive item, like Life Orb. Next up we have Choice Scarfed, Ribombee, Moonblast, U-Turn, Bug Buzz, and Psychic. Speed is enough so that if I do click Psychic and he protects with his Scolipede, I still outspeed and click Psychic and get the KO there. Then he brings in his Darkrai and it's scary. Darkrai does not appreciate this Ribombee though, because it doesn't outspeed it unless he's Scarfed, and if he's Scarfed I can play around him. Moonblast, very good stab against him, really does a lot against most of his team, and then Bug Buzz can help me against things like the Mew and the Musharna, and it also hits the Darkrai, which is nice. U-Turn is not as strong because I am running a Timid nature, but I decided to go with it because it is going to be able to give me some momentum if he has something like the Darkrai in and wants to switch it out, or anything really, like if he's got the Mew in and I just click U-Turn and see what he wants to do, whether he's staying in or not. And we can keep our Scarf intact, keep our Ribombee healthy. That's really important. Speaking of really important to keep healthy, Tapu Fini, if this thing goes down early, I'm going to be in a really tight spot. It's going to be tough to break through. This thing is a Kyurem answer, pretty much exclusively. It is bold and a lot of defense, but it has a lot of special defense investment. Reflect, Taunt, Nature's Madness, and Defog. 50% on anything is great. Taunting things like the Kyurem with Roost or the Mew with Roost can stop any sort of shenanigan recovery. And then obviously taunting the Mega Mawile is great, so he can't substitute. Reflect gives me a chance to survive. Taunting the Scolipede so he can't substitute or Baton Pass. Things that could switch into my Tapu Fini. Now, I know I can take an Iron Head. I can take two Iron Heads if I take it, Reflect, and then take another one for sure. And Reflect allows me to survive a lot of hits with other mons on my team as well. So, and then Defog is there because I don't like rocks on my side of the field, but honestly, Stealth Rocks on his side of the field are really important, so I'd have to make that judgment call as it comes to in the game. Next up, we have our Mega Gallade. It's going to be rocking Adamant Nature this week, Drain Punch, Knockoff, Swords Dance, and Substitute. And when it Mega Evolves, it has EVs to outspeed the Mew, basically. I think it's outspeeding, if I'm not mistaken, this is outspeeding a modest Mew. So I'm not worried about Timid Mew because it doesn't really do much to me. It outspeeds Modest Mew, Modest Kyurem, but if he's running Timid Max Speed Kyurem, he will outspeed me. which is certainly something to consider, but to run Adamant Nature, I couldn't outspeed a... I would have had to run max speed, and I liked having 51 HP substitutes, or I guess in this case, yeah, they're just over 50 HP substitutes in order for something that is using Seismic Toss. If he decides to go that route, not breaking a substitute is really just something I wanted to do. Sub Swords Dance allows me to play around Mega Mawile a little bit, and then Drain Punch knockoff. If I can Sub Swords Dance, then I'm in great shape, and I can proceed to go from there. Now, obviously, Ditto is a huge problem for this if I don't get my substitute off, so hopefully I can, but if the Ditto does come in, I can try to play around it with something like the Rabombi, being Scarfed and outspeeding this. Next up, we have Jirachi, Stealth Rock, Thunder Wave, Iron Head, U-Turn, Careful Nature this week. Max HP, good amount of defense and special defense, not a lot of anything else, but 4 speed in case he tries to speed creep me with Kyurem, or put 4 speed into Mew to outspeed an uninvested Jirachi. And then a Thunder Wave is super useful this week. His only immunity is Gastrodon, and obviously the Conkeldurr, if his Guts appreciates being paralyzed a little bit. Stealth Rocks, in my opinion, are extremely valuable, hitting things like the Kyurem and the Scolipede that are really big threats to my team, and then chipping things away between Stealth Rocks and Iron Head. Just made a lot of sense to me this week. And then, obviously, we can Paraflinch, and who knows, it could be a win con. It can be a win con. If it comes down to that, I will do what I have to do to win this match. And lastly, we have the Landorus. Assault Vested, max HP, max attack, Adamant Nature, virtually no speed investment at all, actually no speed investment at all, and a little bit of special defense investment. We can't take an Ice Beam from a Kyurem, but we can take an Ice Beam from a Darkrai, not Stab. And we can take pretty much anything from Mew, Gastrodon, stuff like that. So being able to take those hits, Musharna, really, really nice. I believe that we can take, let me just double check my calc right now and make sure that we can actually take that Ice Beam from a Darkrai. I might not be able to swear to that. And yeah, so Ice Beam from a Darkrai, from Modest Darkrai, if he's running it, has a 68.8% chance to OHKO. So it's not a guaranteed OHKO. Which is pretty cool. And then from there, Intimidate. This thing switches on the Scolipede really freely. It takes a Dark Pulse. The reason that I ran this was because it takes a Dark Pulse from a +2 Darkrai. So if he's not running Ice Beam on his Darkrai, then I do eat a +2 Dark Pulse. And that is what I wanted. Hopefully this team has what it takes to win this match, and then we can go on to the next round in a playoff. I would love to see that happen. Good luck to my opponent, and everyone stay tuned as we get right into that battle. So I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Let's get started. All right, everyone, welcome back. We're going to jump straight into this. You can see what I'm expecting him to bring on the screen. It's the same team he brought last time against me, and it worked really well. You can see what I'm bringing as well if you don't check out the team builders, and that is the exact same team as last time. So on the one hand, okay. On the other hand, okay. We did get bodied by this last time, so he may have brought the exact same team, and I do have to watch out for some of those sets that he brought last time, which I have marked down in my notes. Now, he's got possible rocks on the Mawile and Mew, and I don't see him leading with his Kyurem, but if he does lead with Kyurem, I can just go into Tapu Fini basically from anything and be pretty okay. Just about anything else, Landorus does a pretty good job leading against. Doesn't really mind pretty much anything else in his team, barring like an Ice Beam Mew with like an offensive spread. But I'm going to go with my Landorus lead, and if he does lead with the Kyurem, then I will switch out into my Fini, right? Or do I want to lead with my Gallade? I think Scolipede and Mew are his two most likely leads. So that's what I'm going to go with the Landorus lead. I'm going to see if I can bluff Scarf for a little while. And good luck to my opponent, Matt. If you haven't checked out his videos, go check those out. Absolutely. Link is always in the description below, as you guys are well aware. So there's a mark on the screen. I hope it's on my monitor and not on the actual screen, and I can't really tell. So I'll see it in post, and if there's a thing, I'll mark it and be like, well, nothing I can do about it. So there's the Conkeldurr lead, and if he has the Ice Punch, then we're about to get pretty blown back. I mean, he does not OHKO without a Guts boost with the Ice Punch. I can just go for a U-turn here to sort of bluff the Scarf and go out. He does have probably super effective coverage for everything on my team, just about with this thing. but I could go out into my Mega Gallade, which can take a knockoff from Kinkeldr pretty well without, you know, any sort of guts boosting effects, and then go for a Drain Punch or a Substitute the following turn at +1. Knockoff seems like a really likely play for him. So I think that's my best play. I think U-turning is the best option here. Earthquake could do about 50% to this, but I don't see that being my best option. And I'm going to try to scout. You know, I could go into Gallade here. How important is Mega Gallade? Decently important. Ice Punch is going to hurt. Knockoff's going to hurt, though, as well. Anything else. Like, I don't want Finny going to getting weakened. So I'm going to go into Gallade here. Ice Punch, it's intimidated. So let's see. Does he have the Ice Punch? He does have the Ice Punch. All right, but he's intimidated. That does, yeah, a little under 50%, which is fine. I can sub here if I want to. He could stay in an Ice Punch again if he's expecting a sub. I don't really see him expecting a sub. Drain Punch is doing about 50% to a Kinkeldr. So I think he might switch out. At that point, my best option is definitely to go for a substitute. And so I'm going to go for it. I'm going to reveal the substitute. He doesn't have the Ditto. If he does stay in and go for an Ice Punch, then I Drain Punch next turn, and I should still be out of range after the recovery of another Ice Punch. So I think I got to make the play here. Obviously, I'm glad I didn't stay in with Lando. Letting that thing take an Ice Punch, even if it didn't kill, would have sucked. Would have sucked. So he did run Assault Vested Kinkeldr last time, and I do have to watch out for that. And so certainly something to consider. I could have gone Chandelure there if I really thought that, but the knockoff was also a reasonable play for him, so I decided maybe not my best play to just sack Chandelure to nothing, pretty much. I don't know if it would die to a -1 knockoff, but he does stay in. Okay, so Kinkeldr at -1. Yeah, it's actually not doing that much to my Chandelure, which would have been a decently safe play, but we're going to go for a substitute here. What is he going to go for? I'm curious. Maybe it's a Bulk Up. Poison Jab. Okay. So that should break my sub. But I mean, again, from this range, I should be able to go for a Drain Punch with him at -1 and survive the hit the next time. And then potentially take out the Kinkeldr from there. And if he does switch out at this point, then that's alright. So we're going to go for a Drain Punch. It does a lot of damage, about 50%, and we should be out of range of a Poison Jab or an Ice Punch or anything like that, taking me out. Just don't poison me. Okay, no poison. So I can just go for a free Drain Punch again. If he goes into a Scolipede, it is what it is. But Drain Punch is free here. He doesn't have a Ghost-type Pokemon. I could go for a sub, but I don't necessarily see that being my best play. If he goes Scolipede, Tails is the Mew. Okay, Mew can come in here. I'm going to get a little bit of HP recovery. We're going to get a little bit of scouting on this Mew. So that did about 17%. So let's look at Mew. So he's got some investment, and he's got leftovers. Okay, that's good information. And so Kinkeldr is at about 40%. He's got leftovers, so did about 17%. So he's got some actual like defensive investment, maybe max defense bold. At which point Knockoff's not doing a ton, and Gallade definitely still has value to me. I think Jirachi is my best play right here. It's either Jirachi or Finny if I think he's going to go for rocks. Or I can Knockoff if I think he's going to go for rocks. How much does a Psychic do? Or Shadow Ball. He had Shadow Ball last time, and I gotta watch out for that. Shadow Ball does 66 max if he's not especially offensive, and he has to be a lot of defensive investment in order to take the hit that well. I could sub here. If he goes for rocks, then I Swords Dance, and... But then, I mean, he's still got the Darkrai around, so I do have to watch out for that. But I mean, it is, you know, not the end of the world. I could also just straight Swords Dance since Shadow Ball doesn't kill me. I'm going to click... I think I should just straight click Knockoff. But then I kind of sack Gallade. I could go out into my Finny here. I could certainly go into Finny here. I think Finny's probably my best play here. I think Finny's my best play. It could take a hit. It's got leftovers. It'll be okay. He could knock off, but again, I don't think he's going to knock off against a Mega Gallade. If he goes for a Toxic, then I don't have to worry about it. And let's see. He's just hard. He doubles. Okay, so a knockoff actually would have been an amazing play right there. And he doubles out into his Conkeldurr. Now I can taunt this thing. It's probably going to Poison Jab. Where's my Finny set? Finny, Conkeldurr. I know he has Poison Jab. So we got 50%. I obviously can't kill this thing. I could Reflect. I could reveal the Reflect here. And then I'm only taking about 20%, and I have a pretty free switch into something. Like my Mega Gallade again. So I'm actually going to click Reflect here. And if he does go for the Poison Jab and do the 25%, then fine. Finny will be okay. He can kind of handle that. There's a Poison Jab, and he can't poison me, so I don't have to worry about it. Does about 25% as expected, so he is pretty max attack. And now I can go into my Mega Gallade here and click another Drain Punch for free on the following turn. And if he predicts that and goes Hard Mew, you know, great. If he goes Darkrai on my Finny, sure. You know, that's a play. That's a play you can make for sure. And if he makes it, then I have to make, you know, I have to react. I have to play around it. Potentially the play here would have been Jirachi. I may have made that a little quick. But I don't want Jirachi taking a lot of damage because it can take a Dark Pulse from a Darkrai from full as long as he hasn't got a Nasty Plot up. And so I think getting that Reflect off, keeping my Finny really healthy, which is nice. You know, it doesn't need to be max HP, but it has to be reasonably healthy to be able to take some hits. So I'm going to switch out. We're going to see what he's going to do. I'm going to go into my Mega Gallade again. And he's going to go for another Poison Jab, which at this point should do not a lot. A little bit, but not a lot. And I can go for a Drain Punch or a knockoff or a Swords Dance. I was at 74. I'm at 38. But if he has Mach Punch, then he would kill me. If he goes for another Poison Jab. But I don't think he stays in here. Poison Jab maxes out at 33 damage. Mach Punch. Mach Punch is 12. So if he stays in Poison Jabs, I mean, I don't think he's going to go Mew. If he stays in Poison Jabs and gets a low roll, then I could live. But I think Drain Punch is going to be my best play here. And he does stay in. We are going to get our health back here and take out the Conkeldurr, which is really nice. That's a really big threat gone. Crit him, that crit does not matter. And we're back to about 50%, which is nice. So Mega Gallade kills Conkeldurr with Drain Punch. Good thing I did not make any over predictions there. TKO is the Darkrai. Now, if we're looking at Dark Pulse from this thing, we're looking at 69 to 82 damage if he's max special attack modest. If he's Life Orb, he'd kill. But I can get some scouting if he's Life Orb or not. He could go for a Z move right here. Nothing wants to switch in on a Z move, I'll tell you that right now. Nothing wants to switch in on Darkinium Z. And if he burns it on a 50% Mega Gallade, how upset am I? How upset am I if he burns it on his Mega Gallade? What is Mega Gallade really doing? It's checking Mew. It's checking non-Timid Kyurem. I'm going to stay in. I'm going to click Drain Punch. There's a Dark Pulse. We have a really good chance to survive this. And we do, and we Drain Punch. Okay. And he's not sashed. Alright, alright, alright. And we're going to get a lot of HP back for that. So Mega Gallade kills Darkrai with Drain Punch. Okay. That's a good spot. because we get basically everything we lost back from that. And Kyurem is a decent switch in here if he's running the Chople that he was running last time. He goes Scolipede here. So the thing is, Scolipede doesn't super threaten me, but my switch into Scolipede every time is always just Lando, because then I can make it so that he can't just baton pass speed. He has to baton pass a minus attack as well into something like the Mawile. And I prefer that. And I think my Mega Gallade still has value to me, since it has the substitute and can Sucker Punch shenanigans the Mega Mawile for a little while. So we are going to go Lando here. If he does substitute, that is what it is in some level. If he protects, then I'm perfectly fine with it. Swords Dances. So he gets to +1 here, but he cannot baton pass now. We know he can't baton pass speed and attack. And he's at +1. He's facing a Lando. So what are you going to do? It's a great question. What are you going to do? I can go for a knockoff. It's free. Earthquake is also free. And Earthquake does a lot more. It doesn't Oko if he's got... Well, no, it just doesn't straight up doesn't Oko. Stone Edge does. I don't think I want to risk that. Knockoff gets rid of whatever item he's holding. If he's running Aqua Tail, which he definitely could be at +1, he's doing about 50%. Oh, wait. I've got him at neutral. Hold on. So he's at +2. He's at +1. Yeah, Aqua Tail does a lot, but it doesn't kill. I can straight Earthquake here. I'm going to Earthquake. If he's Life Orb Aqua Tail, then he's got then he'll kill. But if he's not, then I am running a lot of bulk in this Lando. And so he's not Life Orb. And that Earthquake takes him down to about 10%. Speed boost, that's okay. So Aqua Tail came out. We saw that. Landorus, what are you doing? Not much, right? So we're just gonna stay in. We're looking at U-turn doing about 20%, 19 to 22%. That is more than he has left, which makes that pretty free. And so if he Aqua Tails and he misses, then I can U-turn, and if he switches out, then I'm good. So if he does Aqua Tail, he does miss. That is really unfortunate for him, because we are going to take him out with a U-turn. So Landorus T kills Scolipede with U-turn. Oh, my keyboard's being on the fritz again. And that means that he's going to have switch initiative here. He gets to react to what I do. Jirachi is pretty safe against all of those, because I can Thunder Wave the Mega Mawile. Chandelure is actually pretty safe against all of them too, and threatens the Mega Mawile much, much more. So I am going to go Chandelure here. If he goes Kyurem, then that's fine. I just click... I think I just click Z Shadow Ball. I know it doesn't kill a Kyurem. I'm like very aware of the fact that it doesn't kill a Kyurem, and it sucks. Yeah. Because I would love for it to kill a Kyurem. There is a roll that it does if he's not bulky. There's a roll that it does if he's not bulky, and Earth Power, if he's max special attack modest, Earth Power, which is definitely what he wants to click right here, it doesn't kill me. And Shadow Ball bringing him down to where it does is really, really nice. So I am going to click it. I'm going to click Shadow Ball. Earth Power doesn't kill unless he's Life Orbed again. I'm still worried about him being something offensive, but that doesn't do very much at all. So he's got some serious bulk investment. This is going to not kill. If I was running Firium Z, which I was debating between, it would have a much better chance to kill, depending on his spread. But because he's probably running about 252 HP, or maybe not 252 because he's running speed, I would assume, but since he's running a decent amount of HP and not a lot of attack investment, this is probably not going to kill him. Yeah, it doesn't kill. But that's fine. I don't really need... What is 51 out of 165, percentage-wise? Whoops. It's not that. Current HP. Why can't I type 51 in there? Ah, because I didn't have numlock on, that's why. That's 30%. That allows me to set up a substitute. And I don't need Landorus. It helps me against the Mega Mawile, though. So I could go out into my Finny here, but I can't actually kill him with my Finny, you know, that's the thing. I can go out into my Gallade, but if he's running enough speed to outspeed it, then that's not a good play. So I could just let my Chandelure go down here, and I think that's the best play for me. I'm just going to click Shadow Ball here. And he roosts, which is fine. So I am going to be able to click Shadow Ball and take him down a hefty peg here. Does about 50%. So there's a chance it does more, and I can get the special defense drop, which can stop him from roost stalling. And that's what I'm going to do until he chooses to kill me. I really don't see a better play than this, in all honesty. My play after this is really just going out into Jirachi or Gallade, possibly just Gallade. But I mean, the special defense drop would really put him in a rough spot. And that's, I mean, again, being in a roost spot where he's roosting, and yes, he's gaining a little bit of HP every turn, but he's not really in a position to gain a lot out of this, means that I have a good chance of getting that special defense drop at some point, and the second I get it, he's forced to either switch out or reconsider his options, because the next one will be able to kill him after that. And if it doesn't, it's doing more than 50%, which is what I'm looking for. So there's a 20% chance that special defense drop's coming at some point. But I'm going to keep clicking this Shadow Ball. He goes for the light screen, which is really interesting. That's really interesting. And he's probably going to roost next turn, since he does not survive that. But he does have his Mawile able to come in here. So Chandelure... Oh god, that keyboard is really struggling. Chandelure kills Kyurem with Shadow Ball. That wasn't even a crit, so just straight took him out. Because Lando's still alive and I can intimidate the Mawile, that's a really good position for me to be in. If he goes Mew here, then I could switch out, since the Chandelure can still... I can just go into either Finny and Defog. There's the Mew. Because, I mean, I'm not doing anything with Shadow Ball through a light screen to a Mew. Like, I mean, I'm not doing nothing, but it's not significant damage. Why did it not calc the light screen in there? Oh, because I'm Infiltrator. Oh, that's why I did that. I forgot. I am doing significant damage to a Mew. And he's running, like, no speed, but I'm running, like, no speed either. So, he will kill me if he's running Shadow Ball or Psychic, which I assume he's running at least one of them. And they both do kill me. But I could go into my Finny and Defog and Reflect and Taunt and all those good things. So I am going to go Finny here. The match was forfeited. He was not expecting Infiltrator Chandelure, and he forfeits straight up. So I guess that counts as a 6-2 win? I'm not 100% sure what that's going to go in on the books, but what it really means, I mean, the implication of this is that we are moving on to the semifinals against the winner of Aaron 2420 and the other team that makes it, which has not been determined as of yet. So Tom or Omega, whoever wins that is facing Aaron, and then the winner of that faces me. So great game to Matt. The one Aqua Tail miss really set you back, but I don't actually know if that ended up mattering in the long run, because of the fact that I could always go into something else on that Scolipede to take it out where it was at. I know it was at +1, and I know my Landers was my best answer to it, but Jirachi wasn't going to die to a +1 Earthquake where it was, things like that. So that Aqua Tail sucked, and I'm sorry, but at the same time, I think I had the answers to this team that I needed to have this time. So thank you all so much for watching. We will be continuing on the ICBA journey, looking for our first championship. I hope you're all well, and I hope you all stay well. Take care, everybody.